Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Sweet Talk by Chika Good Hair. It's your girl, Chika Good Hair. So with me today, I have someone special. You guys have specifically said you wanted to see him. And I think now I know why. I'm going to give you guys credit. I have with me today, Morewa. Morewa, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm good. Well, I have been soaking in traffic, so...
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Lagos. The Lagos traffic is
crazy.
It's causing problems in families.
It's so crazy.
And
It's so crazy.
I'm not going to act like I don't notice. Yeah, Michael is not here. But you guys...
Yeah, Michael is a different story.
We're going to...
He's a different story.
You guys should go and visit him yourself.
Yeah.
But we hope to see him soon. We hope he's going to be here soon or some other time. Yeah. But anyways, I'm really glad you made it here. And when you came in, you guys were talking about your bed. I must commend it. I was waiting to commend it. I used to tell guys that I've been around that, if you don't have beds, I'm not going to chat to you. I'm not going to take you serious.
Okay, that's a plus one for me.
Yeah. But have you ever been in a space like that where, your beard is a plus one?
So I have. Yeah, to be ironic to say I haven't. I have. And I think it's not necessarily having the beard. It's more how it looks and how it's being maintained, even though I actually don't do anything. So a lot of this is natural hair. And every time I say that, people think that I'm just trying to... But it's actually natural hair.
I think you guys have hair in your family.
A lot of us, all of us have nice looking hair.
It's the way you said it, nice looking hair.
It is nice looking hair,
I hear you, I see you. But is there a feminine reason to you growing it out this much?
You mean like my audience liking my beard?
Yeah, is there a female reason? Is it I'm going to grow it out because of the females?
Yeah, so that's what I meant. So my audience.
Before your audience, you want to tell me you weren't growing the beard?
Well, so by audience, I actually mean my female attention. Yeah, not the podcast audience. Yeah.
So it's a tactic to keep them,
Well, so not really. So I like the look.
Yeah.
Ironically, when I first started growing my beard, it wasn't actually growing full on like this. So a lot of people who didn't know me before, or who knew me before 2014, 2013, and see me now, he looks familiar, but I don't know. The person I remember didn't have a full beard.
There's an upgrade.
Yeah.
There's a big boy upgrade here.
And I guess because I'm actually, again, like I said, not spending anything to actually maintain the beard. So it doesn't feel like I'm going through a lot to keep it, right? It just feels like hair on my head, right? I just wake up in the morning, I wash the hair on my head, I wash the hair on my face, and I just
do some shampoo here, do some
funny,
shampoo
I don't have any, because people always ask me, what products do you use? So I don't have anything. Literally the hair, whatever shampoo I use on my hair is what I use on my beard. For me, my criteria is just smell nice. Let the shampoo just smell nice. I know it's a horrible thing to say.
Speaking about just using the same shampoo on your hair, it's a struggle for we women. We have the toner, the clean,
which is why I was saying that people probably hate me right now for saying that.
I wish that it was that easy for us. You guys use the same shoe. You use to clean your body, clean your feet, your shoe.
Yeah. I have learned, to now use a different face towel, even though I still don't do that. But I know the concept behind it. Yeah, but I don't think guys really have the time on the general note of, what they do.
I wish I was you. I wish I could use one wash all over my body. I'm going to be happy. I won't spend as much money as I'm spending for self-care. Yeah, but anyway, so I did put up a tag on my IG. I wanted to hear a few stories I wanted to discuss on my podcast, and I had a particular story that really struck me. So I'm gonna walk you through the story. It's a really juicy story.
Okay.
So I want you to be attentive.
Okay.
Now, before I go into the story, I must say that relationship is a huge thing, and people say, "Oh, why are they always talking about relationship? Why are they talking about relationship?" I feel like it's happening. I feel like relationship is something it's like, oh, you wake up, you need to eat, you need to shower, you need to go out. It's like an everyday thing. And I feel like you get to a point where you realize that you need companionship. I think that's why people get attracted to each other, want to be together. And it doesn't necessarily mean you date to get married or anything. You just need somebody to be there that is your one person that you can say, oh, this is my person. I can go to him or her if something is wrong. So that's why relationship is always going to be a constant thing.
So you see, I've thought about this because I'm somewhat active on Twitter. I'm active on Instagram, and these platforms always talk about relationships, always. And I had to sit down to think at some point that why actually is really, because even when it comes to storytelling, relationships are usually the juiciest, topics, right? And one of the things that struck me was that as much as a lot of people say now that they're more about independence now, more about just, I don't really need anybody. And even the companionship thing is nice, but I feel like the reason why relationships are a topic now is because they're a lot more complex than what we grew up to understand they were.
Yeah.
So everybody saw relationship as, okay, it's just a guy meets a girl, then you guys have the roses, you either work out or you don't. But right now, relationships have a whole other dynamic.
It's
there's
giving.
situationships now, there's friends with benefits, there's sugar daddy, sugar baby, there's sugar boy, sugar mama, so
I feel
there's
like it's a phase you can't skip.
yeah, it's not it's
a
really it's literally
phase.
not.
It's a phase you just can't skip.
You can't.
It's like you're definitely gonna have to spend money tomorrow. It's like you're definitely gonna pay bills.
Yeah, and the thing is, the relationship thing actually also spills into friendships, because apart from just relationships as in romantic relationships, you have relationships with parents, relationships with friends that end up being the more complex thing.
There.
Exactly. And
so it's like you tell
people always need some guidance.
It's like, they want to do a survey and they say, what are you involved in? At least 9 out of 10 people in a relationship. And it's not like, oh, we can't do without it. I feel like it's a societal thing that will always keep. It's a circle that will always go around. Everyone is always going to find themselves in that. Either you're going out, you're coming in, or you're still within it. So why they were talking about it? It's because we can't act like it's not there.
Yeah, the human body would always want what it wants.
Yeah.
And even if it's just a physical touch, even if it's if it's like romantic gestures, there's always something the human body wants. And at that point,
you just can't be alone.
A relationship is the only way to
You just can't be an island.
Exactly.
That's it. You just can't. I'm going to read the story.
Okay.
All right. So, hi, my name is Yemi. I'm 24 years old. I'm seeing this guy. We've actually been seeing for about 2 years, and we've gotten serious. In the course of these 2 years, we have discussed further up to marriage, and it has really been serious. And I really like him a lot. He's a great guy, and I'm not going to say he's not a great person. He's kind to me. He's sweet to me. He's a supportive partner. Without me not being extra, he's a really great person. However, I do have a certain challenge with him. I feel like when it comes to his family, he puts them over me. And it's understandable. But I have my reservations because we all know that if it doesn't change in the relationship, it's not going to change in the marriage. I'm not trying to say he should not care about his family, but it's always going to be his family 1 point ahead of me. And for me, this is what hurts me the most. It's because if men can take the extra mile to let their family know that I'm with this person, this is the person I love. And if you love me, love the person too. But, however, whenever there's an altercation between me and his family, he always looks at it like a big issue. Oftentimes, I'm not expecting him to go and fight for me. I'm expecting him to go to them and speak to them and let them know that as human beings, it's normal to have misunderstandings. However, if you love me as your son, you would love the person that I'm with. But now, it's as though if I tell him something that his family has done to me or his siblings, he would always say he doesn't know what to do about it or how to go about it or challenge it. But one time when I offend a member of his family, he becomes very vocal about it. I really want to know, should I just remove marriage from the picture? Or there's really something I'm not doing right? I'd love to hear it on your talk. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, that is the biggest red flag she can ever spot. Now, I know how harsh this might be to say, but my own personal advice is she should step back. Now, not outrightly step back, like just block him immediately. Of course, she can't do that. She's been seeing the guy for 2 years. Right. But it's the worst thing you could get yourself involved in when it comes to battling with family bond against romantic bonds.
True.
Because the thing about guys is when a guy is set on the fact that he picks his family over you, there's nothing. I mean, there's actually nothing Like, if at the point where you guys are seeing each other, he hasn't seen that as reason enough for him to stand up for you against his family. Now, not necessarily against his family, but
like she has
to the
said,
point where there's an amicable agreement where they could even agree to disagree, right? Where it's like, okay, you know what, we don't have to see eye to eye, but we agree that we don't see eye to eye.
True.
So, but from everything she said in her message, clearly there's no compromise. And in that note, for me, my own advice is just step back.
Yeah.
Understand that you're not his priority. Because in the end, he's doing nice gestures, he's being kind to you, he's a nice guy and everything. But you see that family bit? If she's thinking marriage, it will be hell on earth for her. Like, I literally know people who are going through this firsthand, and it's something where they went ahead with the decision because there were other benefits.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm hearing her say. In that,
he's a great guy,
he's nice, supportive, doing other stuff for her. Probably taking good care of her as well. But you see that bit of the family coming in between. I tell you now, if the family actually stands on and decides that this, in fact, if they come up with a story that is not true. So say, for example, they say, oh, she did this.
I cannot believe it.
Yes. He's never going to be at some point on her side.
Yeah.
And in that case, she's even fighting a battle she wasn't even a part of in the first place.
It's not your problem.
So
it was never your problem.
And this thing would end up translating into her being a bad character. In fact, she would hate herself, and all of the stuff she's seeing as benefits will start to seem like things she should never have agreed in the first place.
This.
Okay, so but my personal advice is I think she should step back. It's not going to be easy, but it's honestly the best decision she can make, because in the long run, she's going to hate herself. Particularly because if your husband cannot, in quotes, husband being his position when they get married,
cannot discern.
If he cannot back you up or even, put his family in check and let them understand that, look, this is who I love. And like she stated it very clearly. It's very simple. If you love me, then you should love her, right? So the minute he's not even seeing it that way, that's already a red flag. And human beings are very tend to, ignoring red flags.
Oh my God. So, I was seeing someone one time, and I had met some members of his family and all of that. But he hadn't really met anyone from my family, because I'm big on meeting family.
Okay.
I'm not just going to... My from where I come from, we are open about, we're dating someone or seeing somebody. It's not something that we would hide.
It's not a big deal, okay.
Yeah, so like we're always open. My mom used to always know, who's in your life now, And she knew about him anyway. However, I was, I'm going to keep my family aside.
Okay.
Because in the long run, I don't want to be like, we've met family and, all of that. So I have met his family.
Okay.
Quite, a number of times. And, something happened. Something had been happening, and I would mention it. And then probably would, go to one of them, like scold them, like, why would you do that? Why, or, just voice out. But for me, I'm not saying, go and fight your sister or your brother. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, I don't like human beings firsthand. I have to care about you first to like you genuinely. So, and I said, I'm not going to be cordial towards your siblings anymore. Moving on. It's just my own honesty, because I don't think they've ever done anything for me to even like them. Because it's
Fair
one
enough.
thing, you meet someone, you're nice to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're going to help them pay their fees or
Yeah,
something.
of course.
But I mean,
Just
that
be
humanity.
respectful, yeah.
Okay, let me not say nice. I've been respectful.
Respectful, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, I'm not going to be cordial towards your sisters anymore, because they haven't done anything to end that. And the least I've given them, they've clearly trampled on it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put myself where I'll be disrespected. I'm not your wife or anything. I'm going to take myself out of the equation. So something eventually happened. I said it clearly, Dad. I said, I think I've done something wrong to your sister, and I would apologize to her. Good time to her. I'm sorry. So, I went to her and I said, I wanted to tell her. I said, there's nothing to talk about. I don't even like to say sorry. So as I was saying, I said, I'm not going to be cordial towards your sisters anymore, because they really haven't done anything to earn me being cordial to them. The little I've given, they haven't, recognized or reciprocated it in any form or in any way. So I'm not going to be cordial towards the sisters. Excuse me. So something happened, and, I did something, and in all honesty, if I do something at any point and I feel like I've hurt someone's feelings, I would, take responsibility. So I said, I think I've really hurt your sister. But it was like after the whole thing happened, I've really hurt your sister and I'm going to say I'm sorry, to her about it. So I went to me and I said, I want to talk to you about something that happened the previous day. And, I just want to say I'm sorry. And she said, no, there's nothing to talk about, And I'm like, okay, let's hear it. When someone has had so much that they want to say to you, but you've never, been giving them the space to say, I'm like, okay, let's say. And she's like, I know you've never liked me. All these ones you've been doing is just fake. And, I'm like, okay, I can speak your mind.
Sorry, before you continue, a little more context. Is this person Nigerian?
Yeah, very much.
Okay, because I know you don't like me sounding very Nigerian. I wanted to be sure I was hearing it the way I was imagining.
Very Nigerian.
All right, cool.
I know you don't. What you've been doing is fake. You've never really liked me. And you're always so full of yourself. You always act too big.
Yeah, that's very Nigerian.
And you know what I said? I think I get it now. The entire time when you guys have acted funny, and I'm wondering, like, and when you haven't done something to anyone, they act the same way, and you're wondering, like, is there something wrong? I'm like, so I get where all of this is coming from. We haven't been friends, we haven't been close, but for the fact that you've concluded in your head that I act too big, or I feel too big for myself, I get where all of your anger.
So there's a prejudgment.
Yeah, you've judged me. You've sat down. You've probably gisted with your siblings. You've really taken your time to dissect me. And now you finally, have the confidence or the space to, tell me to my face that, what, you've never really liked me. You've been fake. And when I'm like, I've given you the podium today. Make use of it because you're never going to have the space or the time.
Sorry, also let me cut in. How long ago was this?
It's more than a year.
Okay, so pretty recent, sort of, right?
Yeah, let's say pretty recent. And I'm like, what? It's okay. I've given you the podium to speak your mind. And I'm glad you've spoken your mind because sometimes I would wonder, what's with their funny attitude? I mean, I've never been rude to you. I've always respected you. If I say, oh, hi, how are you? How are you doing? I mean, it's normal. But for you to think that me just caring about how you are is fake, it goes around how you think and the things you've said about me, how much you've thought about me. It means I've definitely been a huge topic for you to conclude that, oh my God, you feel too big. You always act too big. Oh, Thomas, you've watched me. You've taken your time to watch me. And half the time, you're the least I'm bothered about. And I said, it's different when you offend someone once and you say you're sorry. But when they bring up a account, you realize that, oh, you've never even offended them before, but they've been taking offense. So the one you've actually done now, it's not even part of it. So I'm like, okay. Even the sorry I came to say, I beg.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to come and apologize for your own personal challenge.
So did you?
And I never discussed it with her brother.
Her
his brother was aware
okay.
of it. And I said, I'm going to say something sorry to your sister. But after I never discussed it. What the fuck do I want to discuss with you? What do I want to say to you?
So I want to know how the relationship ended. I think that's where we're going.
No, it ended on cordial terms. It's not like that was the reason why we ended.
But you've just had that experience with family.
Yeah.
And that whole...
and I think for me, it was the fact that I knew what I was doing. I wasn't dating your brother to marry. I was happy. So
it was just like in the moment, let's just enjoy the happiness while we are.
Exactly. But then if there's one person who is pressed about me being big about myself, look at me. Who should I be full of?
Oh my days.
Yeah, who should I be full of?
All right. That's fair, and I totally understand that. Yeah. And I think there's definitely a lot of lessons.
Yeah, and people experience this so many times. And I tell people, I say, as much as I like love, don't take it away. Me and love. Oh my God. But it doesn't mean that when I see a red flag, I don't address it. And I think that's some people, they see a red flag. It's one thing to I see a red flag and, just goes to run away. It's another thing to see a red and address it.
Yeah, so I think this is where a lot of us have problems now.
Yeah.
Because, I still go through that. I definitely see, in fact, it happened recently where I could see the red flag. I can see it. It's right there.
It's red.
But,
it's red.
I think another thing that would maybe guide people is letting them know the things that actually distract you from red flags.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to know the red flag. It's another thing to accept that there's something distracting you from the red flag.
True.
And a lot of times it's one, either physical appearance. Now, from the guy's side, it's usually physical appearance.
Okay.
Right? From the guy's side. Now, of course, there are other factors that come into play. Aside physical appearance, it could be physical appearance with, or how she takes care of you. In quotes, oh my God, whenever she comes around, she cooks for me, she cleans for me. It's an old,
thing.
yeah, it's the little things. It's an old way to think, but it's still there. It's still there.
Very active.
So you can see that she's clearly not someone who is making you financially better. In fact, if anything, she's when she's gone, you're going to be broke as fuck, right? But in that moment, you like the thrill of that. That's why they say. That's why you hear things like men like wicked women. Now, so let me explain. So you see, now I'm sure a lot of men will agree with me on this, and it's not really the wickedness that we like, right?
I'm gonna tell you about it.
Now, you see, the wickedness is the red flag. We know, we can see it, but you see, there are just other things that come into play. Sometimes it's the thrill of it's the truth. It's the thrill of knowing that this woman that's and in a lot of cases it's a woman that you did not think you could get. Right, so it ends up that she likes you, and you're like, "Oh wow, this one's giving me attention." She's even, So what then happens is,
I hate that I can relate too much. But
so what then happens is it's sort of like a fantasy where this woman that I couldn't even get is showing me this love and affection, is even taking care of me on top, and what a small wickedness,
it's something I can just.
Whereas it's a, when the butterflies clear from your eyes, then you start to see how much of a detriment the red flags you were avoiding were, so, and that's why nowadays, whenever I meet someone and they say, but don't men like wickedness, hey, I beg, please. I'm an advocate of peace.
No
nothing
violence.
more, nothing
No
like
violence.
that here, please. I don't, so, but I can get where they're coming from, so.
God.
Yeah, but please, I want to hear this. You have something you want to say, and I want to hear it.
Oh my God. I don't like to because of these people here, but let me tell you. So about this wickedness thing, they say Igbo women are always the most wicked.
Oh, trust me, I know. That's my weakness usually, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I'm actually Igbo. And I can attest. There's always a spice when we sprinkle some wickedness on it. And let me break it down. I was seeing someone, I think that was like in 2019 or so. Yeah, seeing someone 2019. And I realized that men actually like wicked women. It's not even about always the small wickedness. Men don't like where
Disclaimer,
they are
please.
loved
We do
and
not
cared.
like wicked women.
It's a lie.
Men do not like wicked women. We like peace, and we are advocates of peace. Just dropping that disclaimer. So please go on.
Okay, convince yourself. For you, I'm not sure if you're speaking for the masses, but the men outside, they love the Igbo wicked women. The Igbo women with extra on top.
It's upsetting. I can't defend my man because I know this is true. So, yeah.
So I was seeing this guy and I liked him.
Sorry, before you continue, was he Yoruba? Please say no. Okay, thank God. So, guys, we're in the clear. Yoruba men don't usually like wickedness, so let's just throw it
the
on
one
there.
I told you about previously was Yoruba.
Jesus Christ.
And I was wicked to him. And he
Cannot catch a break. All right, go on.
So I like him. I liked him.
Okay.
Yeah, at the time. I mean, he was a great person. I'm not going to say I didn't like him. I don't like him anymore. For a person, I do like him. Yeah, I liked him. And there were certain points where I felt like I need to hold him by his neck.
Oh, so you're telling me this wickedness is actually intentional?
Yeah, it's intentional.
I'm going to open my notepad right now. I'm going to jot things
This
down because
wickedness
clearly...
It's actually intentional. It's something we think about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually intentional. I said, it's two things. When you get in a relationship, I feel like there's a power struggle. Someone has to be in charge. Two people can't be in charge. Somebody has to call the show.
We're going to talk about that, but go on.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not intentional. It's a subconscious thing.
Okay.
But in the long run, sometimes it's switch. Sometimes the guy is more in charge. Sometimes the lady's more in charge. Excuse me. So I said, you know what? I'm really gonna have to press him by the neck to be in charge. And I did.
That is wait. Sorry, press him by the neck. Like you wanted him to be in charge, or
I
press him by
wanted
the
to be
neck
in
to
charge.
you? Okay, all right.
Yeah. And I said, it's either I'm gonna take charge, or it's gonna be rubbish. Because from the looks of things, this man, you are doing anything, and I liked him.
Okay.
And yeah, I didn't
Nigerian
want him
man,
to go.
still?
Yeah, Nigerian.
Okay.
And I didn't want him to go.
So
So I liked him. But I didn't know that it was that wickedness that was gonna make him serious.
God.
And he was the most serious he had ever been. the blood of Jesus, take me back. Eh?
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, wow, so I could treat him nice and he'd be acting like a fool. But I'm treating him with such wickedness, and I could call him anywhere he is. He's coming to my house right away. I wasn't being nice. Where are you? Where are you right now? Oh, it's okay. But you see babe, where are you? Can you come to my house? And with the guys, maybe later. But when you come with that seriousness voice, where are you? Oh, yeah, with your boys. But you rather be with boys, but rather give him 20 minutes. He used to live like 30 minutes away from my house. If he could come 15 minutes, he's gonna be there.
You know, I think, because I've thought about this several times, yeah.
He has actually admitted that it gives him a thrill.
This is where I'm getting at. This is exactly where I'm getting at. Now,
that it does give him a thrill when I treat him that way. And it was something we sat down and talked about. He said, it's not like he doesn't like it when I'm nice to him, but it's like, oh my God, what has he done again? Oh my! So it always keeps him in that thrill. And I realized that the times when we fight, that's like the time that precedes the sweetest times in our relationship. So sometimes I'm like, I think we need to fight.
Jesus Christ, as well. Okay.
I'm being honest.
Okay, so
I'm being honest with you.
So I have a thing. It's not a theory, but I've just thought about this, and because so I'm the kind of person who usually likes to think about why things happen, right? I don't just say, oh, it happens. I actually usually like to just have an idea of why. And I think there are several things that play a part in this.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the one that really takes the cake is that on a general note, again, this does not apply to all men, but on a general note, men like a challenge.
Yeah.
And that's why, you hear things like, oh, men like bad girls, they want the bad girl instead. Now, in that context, what challenge is being able to get someone you can't have or you believe that you cannot have, right? So when you show that wickedness side of you, it gives off, I can't believe this is the woman that is wanting me, right? Because this kind of woman, like, if she showed me this before I met her, I would already instantly say, this one can never look my direction, right? So to them, showing them that side is almost like reminding them of the challenge they've conquered, so to say, right? So then there's also the aspect. Now, this takes a little, it's a little bit of it, but they don't know. But there's also the bit about generally Nigerians being raised, or even Africans generally being raised on tough love. There's a tough love aspect where, if your parents are being too nice to you, it almost feels weird. Like
what are they moving on?
Yes, like what's really going on, But when they scold you and stuff, at the moment you're thinking, oh, these people hate me, but it's also a thing of love. I mean, you get to understand that it's a thing of love. So even when you're fighting with the guy, right? He at that moment he hates you. He's like, oh my God, I can't do it with you. I can't believe I'm here. Blah blah blah. Blah. Yeah. So, but it comes back and it's just thinking, okay, she probably did that because she loves me. So it plays about, and I think, I'm sorry to say, but as much as that sounds spicy, it's not for me, right? It's not for me. I've had my fair share. Oh my God, I've had my fair share.
Did you tell us? Did you enjoy it?
What I can say is that I experienced it to its fullest, right? I enjoyed the bits I could enjoy from it, but I would definitely say for a fact that, the whole idea behind creating a fight to spice things up is not for me. It's not for me. And I think particularly because I'm an idealist. I'm a realistic person. So I feel like if I've done something wrong, you can come to me, tell me. So I'm one of those people who does not believe I'm too proud to say sorry. Yeah. Right. So if I've done something wrong and I actually see that, you know what, I've actually hurt you. I'm actually really sorry, right? You know what? I see what you're saying and I'm sorry I actually overlooked this. I didn't think you saw things in that light and I'm sorry. Right. But if I've actually not done anything wrong, right? Or what I've done is something that you're definitely blowing out of proportion. And then we create a scene. No, and we create a scene and, you fight with me. Now, it's even worse for me knowing that this fight you're having with me is because you're just trying to, you've been too quiet for a bit. But most times I don't go in thinking that's why the person is fighting.
Yeah.
I actually take it with all seriousness, right? So I actually believe that they actually have a genuine problem with me and they're trying to address it. So when the person tells me what I've done, I'm like, I know you can't be serious.
Right.
I'm just like, I know this cannot be true. This cannot be the reason you've not been talking to me for the last 3 days. And I'm like, but if you wanted to talk to me, you'd have reached out. I'm like,
yeah.
So I guess maybe I've been single too long. And so I've been single for 5 years, and I think it's a long time to be single. Yeah. So
no. What's happening?
yeah. So I think, in that aspect, I've grown into a lot of my own peace. So it's hard for me to now accept this whole
when somebody else comes. They're gonna change. They're going to change it for you.
No.
They're going to change it for you.
So I mean, I have had those people who could have been like that, and I did say that. That's why I was saying that I've experienced that. I see red flags, and I'm still going for it. I know it still happens to me till today, right? It's not something. I've also learned that it's not something you can actually learn and outgrow.
Yeah.
No matter the amount of red flags you've experienced, when you meet someone you actually like, there's so many. You'll be seeing them. They'll be glaring at you. They'll be beaming.
I'm red. I'm red.
Like, in fact, the person is the red flag. Like, in her whole self is a red flag. So sometimes what I do is I try to cut communication with them for a bit, right? So that that way, yes, I start to reflect on other things that they're either doing or not doing, that then make me understand that, In fact, or sometimes what I do is I try to create now it's a bit of a toxic solution, but I create a second option, right? So let's say I'm talking to you, for example, right? And because you're my sole focus, it's hard for me to see other things. It's hard for me to see that somebody else is doing the thing
that you're not doing.
Exactly, So I try to create second options. So when I see that, because like I said, the red flags, right? So let's say, for example, I'm talking to you, right now, and the red flag is maybe we're talking, and I find that a red flag is that you're just emotionally unavailable, and you're not even aware of it, right? It's a big red flag for me, right? Yeah. Whereas you're fully knowledge on how to be loved, like what it's like to feel love, but you're not ready to show it.
You're not giving it
exactly. So in that time, a lot of men are feeling, I will show her how to love. Don't worry, this is my project. Everybody wants a project. Right? So guys, stop having projects. Stop having projects. So, but anyways, so everybody wants a project, both male, female. They want that, he's a cheater, but I'll change him. She's a bad girl, but I will tame her. It's always something. Everybody wants a project, right? So I stopped doing that. I definitely stopped having projects. What I now started to do was, so if I see that, there are other options, maybe there's somebody else that is showing interest in me and that I also maybe like.
Explore.
So I will start to talk to the person. When I start to see that person actually takes off some other boxes.
Yeah,
this main focus is not taken off. It starts to make me see that, why am I settling for this? Like, I know that in the end, when the butterflies disappear from my eyes, I would have a problem with this.
They say your eye don't clear.
Exactly. So, when they say your eye don't clear, I'm just like, okay, I can actually now see her for what she is. And I'm not happy with this. Like, and that's the point where people start to say, okay, you know what? The person will change. She's actually, they would even make excuses. She used to be so much worse. She's even better now.
She's better.
Like when I say
lies rubbing your head well.
Yeah, and that also brings us back to the girl who created this origin story. And what would end up happening to her is that she would end up saying, you should even have seen him before now. Before he couldn't even talk to his family. Now at least he's even trying. It's an excuse, right? When she meets someone who is actually standing up for her, like they are saying that, this is your girlfriend is not, and you're like, hey, stop that. I've told you guys already. When you have to respect who I'm seeing. When she meets someone like that, she doesn't have to stop talking to this guy.
She's gonna realize that
she's settling for less. Yeah, so it's a toxic option because particularly you shouldn't be seeing somebody else while you're talking to someone. But if you see red flags, I would say just keep it open, keep it platonic.
You can't allow your boyfriend stop you from meeting your husband. That's what I'm gonna say.
And that's where that's
what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, so
don't let him stop you.
I think to summarize that, I think it's just a thing of if you're not fully aware, that or of how you can avoid someone that's showing evident red flags that you cannot avoid.
Yeah.
Right. I think the best way is to now people always for me, I always just look back on the situations where I've had red flags that I could not ignore, or the red flags that I was ignoring rather, and how I was able to control that, or how I was able to come out of that. So I just use that in my next scenario. So when I meet someone new who has red flags, I just remember that, look, in this other time, what I did was I was talking to somebody else, and somebody else was letting me know. Now, if I'm talking to somebody else, because there's a flip side. If I'm talking to somebody else and they're showing that side, like maybe they're standing up for their family. There's somebody else standing up for me against their family. And I don't see it as a plus. Then I guess it means I deserve that red flag. In fact, maybe it's not a red flag for me because there's that as well. There's the point where you would talk to someone else and they are showing the side that this other person does
They're
not
letting
have.
like it's not exactly a red flag though.
So it means it's some, because there are some people who can't deal with things like this.
Yeah.
There's some people who that whole family thing doesn't really affect, So for those, I would say, look, if it works for you and you can manage it, go by all means. This is not a one rule fits all, right? So if it works for you, go ahead. But like I said, the flip side is if you meet someone and they show that red flag that you've been ignoring, and it's still not that big a deal. Maybe my red flag was that, the person does not clean and cook. Let's even say that's what my red flag is, right? Yeah. People have their standards. So let's say that's a red flag. That, this, every time she doesn't even offer to cook. That's my red flag. And then you meet someone who offers to cook, but
it's not even that deep.
It's just like, you know what? Shebi is cooking. I can even cook. So yeah. At that point, I guess that just lets you know that it's not that big a red flag like you thought, and you can live with it. So yeah.
Yeah. As much as we're gonna classify, red flags or not, I'm gonna say it in full context. If you're dating someone to marry, I think family is a big thing.
Yeah, I think it is.
And
I agree with you.
I have funny how a lot of my friends are my age, my age group, they're getting married and I'm just here sipping, what is it, exotic?
Yeah, I'm not even going to expose myself. I'm young, 25, please. Yeah, so I'm not of marriageable age.
I'm 22 and I'm not going to say what I want to say next. But anyway, yeah, and I said, are you sure this is what you want to do? This is not when you guys fight and you say you're going to your house. You're marrying this person. And marriage is a big thing. It's different from, we're just dating. Marriage is like for life.
I guess that's how we see it. Because there's some people who don't see marriage as that, right? But we're
going
to go
to be.
Yeah. So we're going to go with the explanation of marriage is for life.
Yeah, it's built that it should be for life. My life partner. Mm-hmm. So it's built for that.
So no room for divorce, nothing like we're actually in this.
The actual image of marriage, this is what it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if the family doesn't love you, I don't think they're ever gonna love you. And I don't think you should have kids in that environment. I come from a very loving home. I've never seen a situation where we're actually all step siblings. Okay. Funny enough, but you never know.
Right. Okay. Because the synergy is just there.
We love each other so much. So I don't get how someone else is gonna come. My brother is married.
Okay.
And the relationship I have with my sister-in-law is amazing. So if you go somewhere you don't even feel loved at all, you've not even had kids, you guys are not even married from what she said, and these people already have this behavior towards you, it's a family red flag.
Yeah.
It's a national red flag.
I agree, because I started by saying it's a red flag already.
Just go where you're loved. So if you're listening right now, you're about to get married, your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law, your brother-in-law, whatever it is, you don't feel loved. Don't think that it's just the son I'm marrying. It's a lie. One day that man is going to remind you that now these people born me.
Yeah, especially when now. Let me even tell you the point of marriage, because I'm not married, obviously, but I've watched, right?
We are seeing it.
Yeah, we're seeing. So the point of marriage where this actually gets to reflect on you is even when you've lost a lot of years raising the children.
Yeah.
Just making sure the family is whole, right? And because people don't really talk about this part of marriage. And there's a part of marriage where you're back to having your own life.
Yeah.
And that's when your children have started their own lives, and so everybody's just independent again. Mm-hmm. At that point, you're back to having just your husband. In which case, most husbands always find a system that works for them.
Yeah.
Either they now know that, themselves and their other peers who also have children who are now living their own lives, just maybe go out regularly. They go to one bar. It's like an everyday thing. Or they have one lounge somewhere.
Or one meetup.
One meetup. So they've created a system for themselves.
Yeah.
Now, in most cases, a lot of Nigerian men just go, men are being men. Let them go and get it. But you see, what happens is that, because I've spoken to some people who are married, who have been married for a long time, and, I've gotten to understand that there's not a lot of happiness that comes from it, because you start to hear the complaints that they should have complained about 30 years ago when they just got married.
That time.
Yeah, so 30 years ago when they just got married, these are things they should have complained about then.
Yeah.
And I guess they thought to themselves over time things will change, and they still never did. Dynamics always stay the same. Yeah. So 30 years later, you're still not happy, And it's something that I always try to advise my friends, my family, people who are prospectively trying to get married, right? Now, I also get that there's a social construct that puts everybody in a box, saying that, you must get married. And not just that, exactly. At this age, you must be ready for the marriage, right? that already clouds people on their judgment of what they even need to look out for in a marriage, because to them it's a responsibility, not a life task. So you see, to me,
something we have to do.
Exactly. So to me, you should get married because you actually feel it. Like both of you actually feel that you want to spend the rest of your life with each other, right?
True.
But there's a part of, and I tell you for a fact that a lot of men and women go into marriages out of, okay, please,
I think it's time.
I don't want to be told once I'm 27, I must have 2 kids already. It's a social. Some don't even know that society has built them into this, because they tell them, oh no, I'm the one that wants it. Sis, you're not the one who wants it.
You feel like
you just
say, oh, I think I'm approaching the age of marriage.
You just already, what you've done is you've just given up on the fight much earlier, right? So all you're doing is just accepting that that's what it is. I don't want to stress myself about arguing with anybody.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually okay with getting married at 27. In fact, that's what I want. And next thing becomes what you want when it's not really the case. And when you find people being pressured, because when you find people being pressured into, I want a boyfriend. I mean, I should be married by now. My friends are already. Nobody really cares, because when you're not happy, the friends that you keep talking about are not going to be there.
Let me tell you something. So I had a close friend who I bought her engagement ring.
Okay.
Now that's how. So when her boyfriend of then wanted to engage her, I was the one he reached out to.
Right.
I bought her. She didn't even know. I bought her engagement ring. Convinced her to come to a certain place, and he proposed. And when it happened, I was the only friend I knew at the time. Because something about their family, they couldn't get married. So they couldn't even announce it yet. That, they were engaged. Okay. Until, they had to go and see the family and be sure that, okay, they're actually going to let them get married. So, she was talking to me and like, oh, Chika, I hope you... And I said, oh, my love, I can't come. The reason why I couldn't come was because at the time, we just found out my mom had cancer.
Okay.
But in the space where she asked, I couldn't just, oh, I can't come because my mom has cancer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my love, I'm sorry I can't come. But, definitely I'm going to send you a huge gift and all of that. And after that, I noticed she was just giving off this weird vibe. So, they went for an outing and she mentioned, I said, Chika's not even coming. And I don't know why she just feels envious.
Okay.
I bought your ring. Excuse me.
Okay.
I knew. So, a friend of ours, Chika, what's up? Are you and this particular person? I'm not going to mention names. Are you and this particular person having issues? I'm like, no, well, in my head, oh, we are good. I mean, we spoke some days ago, we are good, really. And I said, I'm looking for thinking of something really great to buy for her. I don't want to buy anything regular. I don't want to buy something that she's always going to look at her husband and say, Chika got me that stuff. It thinks I'm not going to be there. Like, Chika, I don't know, but this is what she said. And I'm like, okay. I tell her,
at the moment, it wasn't adding up.
Yeah, I mean, because I wouldn't expect that from you. She's one of my closest friends. Very close. I'm not just going to say, friends like, we only see when we hang out. No. Really close friends for like 6 years.
Okay.
So we didn't just meet yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I swear, she's like, yes, that, why would I even behave that kind of... And at that time, I was single. So it's like, that is it because I'm single?
Oh, wow. Okay. She went that way. Okay.
I've never said this in public before, but I have been proposed to. Yeah. And I declined it on the spot.
Please tell me this was not a public proposal. Please say it wasn't.
It was.
Jesus Christ.
It was. I've never said this in public. Only like the people who were there.
Sorry, before you continue, was it a case where you believed he didn't read the room? Like, was it one of those trying to corner you into proposing? This is what
it was. I told him, I'm not ready to get married. I'm not dating you to get married.
Okay.
I'm a very vocal person in my relationship. He had certain things that I said, for the certain reasons, I don't think long term, it's not going to work for me.
Okay.
So he knew.
So the proposal was like to cage you in. So
that's what he was giving.
Guys, can you please not? Just don't, please. Just don't. It doesn't work. Don't propose to kids. It was
towards my birthday, and I always travel around my birthday. So I knew. And funny enough, when I'm new, there's so much commitment in my relationship. Like I have the bank app, so I see how much money you're spending and all of that. Okay. Yeah. I want to know if you're sending...
Wait, why am I saying okay? Hold on.
Yeah.
That went over my head.
It's okay. It's someone stuff. It's okay.
Are we even gonna get to that? I'm not even sure we're gonna get to that. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So I always know, when we have the same banks and all of that. Yeah. Well, whenever you're gonna come in my life, I need to know. You cannot make me look like a fool in the streets.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, she's an evil woman. Let's get that out of the way now. Yes.
One time I fought with this guy because he didn't let me see. He didn't teach me his signature correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, good thing the topic is not about you today. So, because we're going to have a lot to discuss. So, yeah.
But back to the story. So, she was like, that. I mean, I had my own turn and I turned it down.
Oh, right. So, she was referring to your proposal. Okay.
So, I'm like, did you just rub that in my face?
So bad. That's actually so bad.
I mean, this is the problem we have in society. Your friend declines something that she's clearly not ready for.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be pressured into getting him. How old was I?
It's such a lot to unlearn because...
And I said, for you to feel like, that I said, I'm not going to come to your wedding, you think I'm envious of you.
So the thing is, so you see, as much as I said, one, we have to unlearn that, your parents pressuring you into marriage, or even not just your parents, your family pressuring you into marriage is one thing. Mm-hmm. Then there's your friends. Mm-hmm. Because you would think that it stops at your family, and once you get that hurdle out of the way, then you're good. But there are also the friends. In fact, I've met some girls who are advising their friends to get married to a guy because he's rich. And
I mean, the money is important.
Yeah, no, and I don't doubt that, and I don't even disagree with it, right? In fact, if the person you're advising is someone who knows they want to cry in a Bentley, that's fine, right? But again, maybe because I'm just really an advocate of peace. Again, I keep saying advocates of peace. We do that here. So I believe a lot in happiness if we're talking about living the rest of our lives together.
Yeah,
I believe a lot about happiness, because in the end there's so much going on in the world that the person I'm spending the rest of my life with is not even the one happiness I come back home to, right? So money can only cure so much. Money can only blind your eyes beyond it. And in fact, the reason I say this is because when you now become an adult, you start to see that money really does not solve everything. Because you get to health complications, and the amount of money you can put together cannot even save you. So again, it just doesn't. It's never enough for me. So even if the person is rich beyond whatever, the eternal happiness that you're going for, except you're saying that you're not marrying to be together forever. You don't plan on to after 10 years I'm divorced, which is a different thing entirely, and that's fine. Yeah. So, but if we're talking marriage or we're trying to spend the rest of your lives together, please be prioritized on happiness. It's my own little piece of cake.
And I said, when I turned it down, it was like, how can you do that kind of thing?
Oh man!
I'm not even gonna lie. Yes, he did he was loaded. I'm gonna leave it there. So, how can you do that kind of thing? What are you thinking?
So I guess I was speaking in context then.
This is many girls' dream. What are you thinking? What are you not ready? I've already told this bobo. You can have your money, but long term, it's not gonna work for me. Yeah. And the fact that I took so much offense, the fact that I let you know that I'm not doing this. For some people, it's like, oh, you embarrassed him. No, you embarrassed me.
Yeah.
Because I laid out my terms clearly with you.
And so you still went ahead and did that in
understood.
public. Yeah.
When I knew where he got the ring. When I got the debit in my mail.
Oh, shit. I was about to say, what do you mean? And then I just remembered. Again, I'm so glad you're not the topic for today because we would have had so much to talk about. My goodness.
When I got the debit in my mail,
I
didn't call him immediately. I didn't want to spoil his whatever he thought he was doing.
Okay.
I said, I'm really not thinking of marriage right now, and I don't even think it's with you. But I hope you get that we're just dating.
Was this very recent?
No. Okay. I said, I hope you get that we're just dating. We're enjoying each other's
You're just really
time.
living life at the time.
Yeah. But just, I hope, that he gets to his school. That,
was this a much older person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he gets, it's cool. He understands that, no pressure. Okay. That means you're buying the ring for somebody else. Okay, but it's not my business. If you want to go propose somebody else, that's your problem. Because I don't want it. So I felt really distressed. And I said to myself, it's one thing that, like you said, the pressure comes from your family. But for you to rub that on me, that, I'm envious of you because, you have some ring that I went to even buy.
Yeah.
It's a very stupid mentality. And so, you know what? Fuck you. And I said, if there's ever anybody you should talk to in that manner, it should have been me because I know your skeletons.
Right.
And I said, but I'm going to swallow it because if I decide to play dirty,
You have the cards, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it does make sense. And
so you know what? You but let me even the tip or no, the icing on the cake is that they're never married now. I'm gonna leave you at that.
So as much as I want to be shocked and confused by this, I mean, so right now where we are in 2022, I've witnessed way too many marriages that end in 6 months, 1 year.
He didn't even get married. Let me put it there. He didn't go past the engagement.
Right. So what do you think happened? Because she sounds like someone who was ready to marry him, even if he was going to say no.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to tell the story, whatever. I say it to my chest. So, the guy used to stay in Dubai.
Okay.
Funny enough, I even introduced both of them. Okay. The nerve to think I'm envious of you. So, I even introduced these two people. So, he stays in Dubai. Okay. You know, he rented a house here in Lagos and all of that. Takes care of her. So he comes, you know, and goes, comes and goes. And, you know, when he was away, she felt lonely. And then there was this young guy that she would bring to his house. You know, they would have sex and all of that. So,
this is not the guy that proposed, right?
It's not
a different guy. Okay.
Yeah. Right. So when I found her, so I said, babe, what are you doing? Like, what's this dirty game you are playing? She's like, that it's just a one-time thing now. It's not.
It's never a one-time thing.
It's just, I'm like,
It's never a one-time thing.
Look at me in the eyes. I'm not that wild. That me and you know it's not one-time thing. What are you? I said, okay, so you're not serious with him. Like, you know, he's not going to go anywhere. You know, since you're already doing all of this. I was like, that there's no emotions with the other person. That is just sex.
Okay.
I said, I'm going to tell you this as your friend. This particular guy is a great guy to you. You know, it's different from all these guys that, okay, it's just, you know, 1 week, 1 month thing. This is somebody that has really invested in you. I don't think that's fair, you know, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you as my friend. And I tell my friends, if I tell you something once, I'm not going to come back and tell you because you're growing enough.
Yeah. If you don't get it the first time, then
if the first time you don't get it, it means you clearly don't want to get it.
You don't want to get it, yeah.
So I saw it happen the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and I acted like I didn't see it. So when he, you know, that, he's ready to engage my friend, I'm like, okay. I didn't tell him that,
knowing all the stuff you already knew, yeah.
I'm like, I mean, this guy too is my friend.
Yeah.
But, I mean, him and I were friends before I introduced her to him.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So they were both my friends. You know, even when he found out, he was like, Chika, tell me that you didn't know. Tell me that you didn't know.
Oh, he found out. Okay, well,
yeah.
we'll get back to it.
Yeah, okay, now I spill the tea.
That's fine.
You know, so one particular day, you know, he was in marriage already. This was after the, you know, engagement.
Yeah.
You know, and he was like, that, you know, him and his friends are going for a wedding in Anambra. So they had left. You're not going to tell me that he did have sex with you before he left. But he just left. And then, you know, you ring this guy to come over. And then the guy has come. And then the guy has his own key. So the whole time, he don't have to call or come out.
He's just going to come in, yeah.
He just comes. So I think he said he left something that, you know, they had to come back and give it. You know, one of the guys left something.
So one of those scenes. Wow, this sounds like it's from a movie.
Yeah. But it was actually one of the guys.
Okay.
You know, they had to go back to get something.
Yeah.
And the guys was opposite the house he rented for his. So let him just go in. Since they're going to leave a little bit later, he goes in, you know, and then he's seeing his babe and some other guy.
Wait, but did they catch them actually?
They caught them naked, but not actually in the act yet.
That's wild, man. That's wild.
You get me?
So it's his friend who caught them, not him.
It's him.
Oh, him.
The
Okay.
friend came. He's like, let him just go back to his crib.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so it seems that they were close to each other, right?
Close to each
Okay.
other. Let him just go back. Spend the time.
Bruh. I really hope it's one of those. He didn't even say anything. He just walked out.
He said something. He said many things. Bags were flying out in the minute.
Oh, wow.
So, funny enough, you know, where it was, you know, all of us used to stay almost like in the same area as of then.
Okay.
That's where I used to stay around too. So my friend come like, oh my God, Chika, do you know what's happening? And I'm like, what is happening? Like, this guy is cheating. No, he has caught that. He was like texting me. He called me. You want to say that you know that your friend was cheating on me, Chika? You want to tell me? Like,
stealing your whites when you're just on your own.
Like, I don't know. I really don't. Chika, you are lying to me. I'm like, I'm not lying to you. I don't know. I really didn't know.
So as a disclaimer, I'm just happy that we know now that women cheat as well. So let's just have that out there. Yes, women cheat.
Well, this is not their episode. Please.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fine. I thought she did it.
This is not their episode.
And okay.
You know, it made me think, and then I'm like, and look at you that you think I'm envious of you. Now, okay, I'm envious of you. At least I never get my money to buy the gift again. So, saves me money, saves me time and energy. But it just goes out to say that, whatever it is that you're doing, if you find somebody that loves you, cares about you, don't mess it up.
So I think, the thing is, adults like to act like they're...
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah.
Eventually, when a few of my friends questioned her about, and she was like, he don't satisfy her in bed.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Yeah. She said the reason why she was that he doesn't satisfy her in bed.
So you see, this is the red flag talk we had. Now, she met someone else who is satisfying the red flag that she saw in the other guy. Yeah. But I guess...
He's not where the other one is.
Financially, yeah. So you see, here's my thing now, right? Again, I'm not judgmental, right? And I don't really... I mean, we're adults, or everyone is an adult, so... You would make the decisions, and obviously for you to make that decision, you've thought about it, So I don't really believe in all that. Oh, it was a mistake. It's never a mistake, right? The mistake was that you didn't make the right decisions earlier. That's the only mistake I ever see. Exactly. So, the guy fulfilling these green flags that were a red flag in the other guy, right, is a problem that I think she cultivated right from the beginning. Now, it's an eat your cake and have it situation.
Very.
Right. And
it's a greedy thing.
Yeah, it is. And I think even the person who also told us her story, of course, she's not going to tell us if she's doing anything on the side as well, because sometimes I get to understand that when people tolerate red flags, it's because they're either getting that red flag satisfied by somebody else. So I'll give an example. Like, we gave it the example about, let's say my red flag is that the other person doesn't cook.
Yeah.
If I accept that, I want the person like that, it's most likely because there's somebody else cooking for me.
For you.
So, and it's ironic that that's how adulthood is now, but we don't want to tell ourselves the truth. We don't want to admit all these things, right? And until she hits the fan, and then everybody's like, oh wow, so this was happening now. Exactly, So it's really crazy. And to avoid all that embarrassment, just be honest with yourself, be honest with the person, right?
Yeah.
If she had actually talked to the guy to let him know that, look, you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
You're this. But you see, she was greedy, right? And in the end now, she's lost everything, including the guy, the money. Even the other guy that she was talking to, I'd probably also, if it was me, I'd probably be like, yeah, I don't want any drama. Clearly, you have a whole thing here. I'm just going to exit and leave before somebody hires somebody to kill me. Yeah, So, yeah, and I imagine that's what the guy would have done, right? So, in that case, she lost everything. The guy that was rich, the guy that was pleasing her in bed, everything, right? Whereas she could have easily just... I lost a friend, right? So she should have just communicated and let the guy know, look,
I think you can.
This is a big. If you're not ready to work on it, then at least now it's out in the clear, and I've let you know this is where
you're
lacking, right? So so unfortunately, but I hope we've been able to answer her question. So again, my advice is leave that scenario if you cannot. Yeah, if he's not going to change for you, just leave. You're going to hate yourself in 30 years.
No, they say human beings change, but I don't think it's like that. I feel like. I beg.
That aspect is not a change thing.
There's always going to be a point with his family over you. I was telling someone today, I said the Bible said, a man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. But if he's not leaving them to cleave with you,
then it's never going to happen. Yeah,
it's never going to happen. So to break the ice, we've had a really serious discussion. I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
All right. So
hopefully I can answer.
You should give me 3 countries that start with the letter F.
3 countries with the letter F: Finland, France, and wow. Do I really not know a third one?
Come on, you can do it. There's always a third one that gets hooked.
That's actually ironic. Hold on. Finland, France. Really? No, don't disgrace yourself in front of your audience. Come on, don't do that. I'm actually thinking about it.
Why you think? Let's skip to the next one.
Okay. I will get that.
3 countries that was the letter V.
So Venezuela. Vietnam is a country, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, and again, why is this?
No, you didn't ask me Vietnam. You didn't just I've been there.
So I see.
Sometimes I'm like, is it a country?
No, I definitely know it is, but because we never really talk about Vietnam, it's just Vietnamese stuff.
Yeah.
So Vietnam, Venezuela, and
what you're thinking of? Let me even tell you something. I'm going on holiday soon.
Okay.
And Madrid is in Spain.
Yes.
Do you know? I used to think it was 2 different things.
Really? No, Spain is the country. Madrid is just city. I've
been to Madrid before,
right?
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Spain, but I want to go to Madrid.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay, hold on.
Hopefully you didn't say that out loud.
I'm like, oh, okay, hold on, wait. Oh, it's one country. It's really one country.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
It is.
So while you're still thinking
Again, clearly 2 is my cap.
Yeah. But why you're on it?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
Missionary or doggy?
So actually, missionary.
Why?
I usually would like to see the person going crazy while they're getting blown out.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a visual thing.
Yeah. So also, if you actually think about it, well, again, I don't know who's thinking. Yeah. So I'm a virgin, please. Or I don't know. But yeah, missionary is a lot
It's
more.
purely
intimate.
virgin.
Missionary is a lot more intimate, and you have more control in missionary. Like, I mean, drag you to the edge of the bed. I mean, hold your legs up high enough where you. Yeah. So at that point, there's literally the person is just
vulnerability.
Yes, the person is just at your beg and call. Like she can't decide to give up at some point. Yeah. So yeah, I'd say missionary over.
I didn't just hear that.
Yeah. So missionary.
So, since he hasn't given us the other 2 countries, we're going to hope that he's going to come on another episode and give us the rest. So at this point, I want to really say thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I've had a great time.
So have I.
Even if I've exposed some of my Igbo sisters, but sisters, I love you so much. I didn't mean it, but I just really need to tell them. I mean, it's a thing that we enjoy.
Yeah.
The thing that I've really had a great time.
So have I.
Thank you so much for
I
coming.
look forward to the next time, actually.
Definitely.
There should be a next time.
There will be a next time.
All right.
And you're going to tell me the other 2 countries.
I will. I'm going to do my homework.
So you all, now
Yes.
you us.
Yeah, so my people don't think I'm not smart, please.
No.
I went to school, I think. So yeah, I'll definitely come back with them.
Yeah, I'm so grateful you eventually came. I was telling them, I think last 2 weeks when I recorded, and I said, he's gonna come, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna have a fire time. And the ladies that have been clamoring, bring him. Okay. Look at him now.
I hope I met the expectations anyway.
You did. Thank you so much for coming.
You're
and
welcome.
There you have it, guys. We've come to the end of this episode, so make sure you like, share, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, leave me something in the comment section, and his handle is gonna be there. So he replies DMs.
I try my best to reply to you.
So he's not. He does. So get in there. And he said he's single. So I'm sure that's something just you guys wanted to know. So now that he said it, so you guys have come to the end of this episode. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
All right.